We're talking about Jimmy Bullard, and here is your mate Jimmy Bullard. He was on the Drive Time show last year. He told a story of what it was like being in the England camp with you under Fabio Capello. Here's what he had to say.
Don't get me wrong. Look. How can you argue against Bex and all that? Like Bex, that was his game, right? Long vision passing, free kicks. He had it. That was his bag. But Bent's, I swear, was unbelievable. Like if you was to ask me who's going to take a free kick to keep you up or whatever, Bex is obviously in there. And I know people are going to say, Jim, you're mad, aren't you? Bentley's up there, honestly. He had technique to die for. Fabs once said, right, Fabs went, can I have 3 wings on the right and 3 wings on the left? Just say, I can't remember now. Bex was definitely one of them. Went out with, say, Ashley Young and another one. Bentley went out behind him. Fabs was like, Bent, come back, mate. We've already got 3. He said, shut up, Fabs. Go and get Bexy. I'm one of the best in the country. Got the ball, took it out of his studs, whipped it in and went, as that, Fabs. Have a bit of sauce on that. All the boys are like, what is he up to?
Oh, what a guy. I love Jim.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He's so good, isn't he?
Beautiful man.
What was he like, Capello, though? Because, I mean, you going with him and, and you're with Beckham and who else? Who are the superstars in? You know, Rio Ferdinand, John Terry.
Yeah, all of them, yeah.
Scholes.
Ashley, yeah, all of them. Joey Cole, like Lamps, Stevie G. Yeah, all of them. Michael Owen. That was when I was in and around it. But I tell you what, when I stepped into that environment, I mean, back then the biggest thing that was missing was what we discussed earlier, that team bonding. They could have done with a trip away.
Yeah,
you know, just to let all it
was a bit
stiff, concerned with the way things look rather than the way they feel. And I think that feeling, fair play to Southgate, he got that feeling back with all the boys. You know, they're all playing for each other. Even though at times they didn't, show it at times, but you can see that general feeling.
They're all mates.
Enjoyment and working together. So back then, me and Jimmy sort of come in, and it was a bit, it's a bit boring. Yeah, you could see why they hadn't won anything.
Yeah,
and you try to.
And you rock up saying, "Yeah,
I'll rock up. I'll have a bit of this." But Fabs didn't. He was, bless him, he couldn't speak English, could he? He couldn't. So he couldn't really speak English, which was weird. I don't think that's...
England manager, can't speak English.
Yeah, I don't think that was a very good appointment, was it? But we just... I mean, that's where the old school, you take advantage of things like that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because they're funny.
Yeah.
So me and Jimmy had a good time. Like, I used to love having conversations, and he couldn't... So I used to talk... like about something totally random and he wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
Like, just kept...
We just texted him and he sent something that we can't play out on the radio. It was quite funny, to be fair.
Yeah.
But let's go to Arch. He's a Spurs fan. All right, Arch?
Evening, guys. You all right?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Cheers, David. Pleasure to speak to you, mate.
You too, mate. Thank you.
I just wanted, 2 questions, really. The first one's a bit hypothetical. So let's say next season, obviously, Spurs had a horrific injury record last season. Let's say that the coming season, all the attack gets injured. If Levy phoned you up or Ange phoned you up, would you come out of retirement? And the second question, the second question, who is a better fit for Spurs, Tony or Solanke?
Oh,
that's a hard question.
That's an hard question.
I like Solanke. I said this the other day. Everyone's been talking about Tony all season, Dave, and don't get me wrong, he's a great player, good penalty taker, holds the ball up, got pace, can score. I know, he's got a lot to offer. I'll be happy with either of them. But for me, Solanke last season at Bournemouth, playing in the team that he was playing in, and they struggled at the start, but he lifted them. He got the best out of them players. The manager comes in, and all of a sudden they started playing some decent football. Mm-hmm. I think he deserves and there's no disrespect to Bournemouth, I think he deserves a big move to a big club.
Yeah, he does. His attitude's got a great attitude, and to score goals in the Premier League is hard, and he does well. He's honest, he's got good technical ability, and he's done well to react, obviously leaving the bigger club, going down there, and he's reacted really well. Tony, another good player. I like him. I think he's a very good player. But for Tottenham, I do think that Tottenham, if they want to, I think the Napoli boy, the big boy up front for Napoli, I think they should go in. Yeah, go in and spend the money.
We ain't going to do that.
I know, but I think with they're both good players. Which one they should go for? I think Solanke is probably the one. I don't know, but I do like Tony. I think he's a good player.
Yeah,
he's a good player.
Do you think Spurs need to go out and spend the money?
Yeah.
Like you say,
it's an opportunity.
We go, we're not going to go and spend the money. Well, why not?
Why not?
Because, Arsenal did. They bought Declan Rice for 100 million. They got him up to 89 points, right close to Man City.
Yeah.
Why don't Spurs do that?
Well, there's got to have a gamble. I think there's talks of some big investment that's coming in, or they're selling a part of it. I don't know. But I think this is the time where they need to spend. That's why I mentioned the point, that really. That, a big player that's going to come in, if they make a statement, the world's elite are trying to get him, the other team, they go in and go, bosh, have that.
Yeah.
And that sets the standard. And I think Tottenham, the fans, the stadium, the training ground, the other players that are there, they deserve things. And some money's got to be spent. It's the game we're in. And Tottenham are in a financially great position because of the great work that Levy's done down there.
Yeah.
But at some point, you've got to have a gamble. And you want to win something. You can't. It gets a little bit boring every year. Tottenham keep not, just nearly getting out. Showing something like at the start of the season last year, I thought, oh my God, they've got a chance.
Yeah.
They're playing some football here. And that centre forward, you stick him in there, he's bosh, have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 30 goals, all the other play, lifts the whole club. And that's what 120 million can get.
Yeah. Arch, what do you think this season? Do you think Spurs can get above Champions League and get in there?
I think, it's always a struggle, I think, for Spurs. You've got Villa, you've got Newcastle, even Brighton, West Ham, always sort of buying new players, sort of reinventing their teams. But I think this year it has to be our year for Champions League. I think if we got fifth or below, that would just be a complete failure. I know we got fifth last season, but I think fourth, for me, I think we can aim higher. I think that's just because I'm ambitious. I'm kind of hoping that Arsenal will flop. I don't think that's actually going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But we can all hope and dream, can't we?
Yeah.
And it all depends on what we do. I think signing players like Archie Gray, brilliant, but he's not going to take you to that next level. I mean, he's a great player, but he's not himself. He isn't. But he's not the full potential yet. I mean, he could do in the next couple of years, but at this moment in time, I think it's all about bedding in, making sure he sort of gets on with the lads and maybe sort of really reaches his potential. Well, I think you need sort of experienced players around him. That's the problem Chelsea had last year, I think, with bringing all these guys on really long contracts. They didn't really make it sort of too much use, not enough balance, not enough mix, and I think that could be a problem for Spurs. But if we sign, Ivan Toney, Solanke, or a top striker, and maybe even a winger, David Bentley, I'm sure the offer still stands, but if you want to come back. But, I'm sick of Werner, I'm sick of Solomon, he's barely played, but I think players like that, Richarlison, I just think they need to go. I think they're officially dead wood, and I think, with the mentality we have at the moment, waiting to sell players before we buy.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.